do this. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the ways as far as how the library is taking those resources and providing them to faculty and to students. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All righty. As we can see right here, here we are at the Lake-Sumter State College homepage. And for all those, a lot of this may be, but let's take a look here. We're going to go to the Library Learning Center right here. This can be one of the greatest assets for all faculty and staff. For people that are faculty, if you have an embedded librarian, you're going to have somebody there, like the previous speaker said, teacher, you're going to have another teacher, you're going to have a cohort, you're going to have also someone that can help you with making sure your students are successful. So if you do choose to have an embedded librarian, you can actually form that bond, create it easier resources for these students. And let me show you how we do this right here. First thing right off, how many of the as far as virtual. When I do library interventions as far as teaching with that, one of the first things I want to do is I want to give the hours of the library, because as I stated earlier, we're still doing in person, and you are able to go ahead and do a one-on-one interview if you would like. You can actually come into the library, the hours are available. And this has been one of the greatest inventions right here. Even though this says, sorry, chat is offline, you can't get help. When you're doing this, when the student clicks on this Ask Us button, drop-down boxes will appear. This right here is actually going to say what your name is, course instructor, what you're looking for, citation help, tutoring help. Judy and Asha at the Learning Centers, we have excellent tutors. We do. And they are there to help the students. Actually had a student the other day come up and said, thank you so much for directing me to one of the tutors there. They really helped me form my paper. Then they brought over, helped them with the citations. So you actually have more availability to more resources that these students can have. And that's the important thing of creating that relationship with the library and the librarian. Now, if we're going to take a look at certain things as far as, say, like research help with this. If I click on the research help here, working with nursing students, we started doing the biggest thing, a lot of it now is evidence-based nursing and how they're practicing and how they can take these assignments and place them into this. And if we're looking for certain assignments here for a publication finder right here, we take a look and you can see a screen that looks pretty much normal as our other databases, but I'm going to go ahead and evidence-based. Still hit it. And here we go, evidence-based nursing right here. As you can see, you'll start getting these. And I'm clicking on some different things, and it's going to show all the evidence-based nursing that we can have. Here's worldviews on that, communication, evidence-based and nursing, full text, up to 2013. So say I'm looking for an ebook on this, I can actually click on this, and it will take me to this. If I know a specific article name, once again, I can put the name of that title in there. This is how the librarians are going to help you find the research that you need. And here it is, exploring the debate as far as debates and challenges in nursing's evidence-based practice. So we've had this past semester being an embedded librarian with James in one of the nursing classes. They had a lot of research as far as this, how actually practicality of coming and graduating and then going into the actual field and what are some of the challenges that they have. So a lot of this can base as far as help the students go ahead and start getting a better idea and help the professors and the teachers and the faculty concentrate on the meat and potatoes as far as what they're trying to do and how the librarian can help them show what the class is going to pertain and how these assignments are going to come. So that's one of the things that we have right there. So if you're not too sure, please ask. Of course, the librarians are here as always to help you with that. And if you go back to the new search here, you can look at ebook collections. You can look at all of the different ones that you have. We can go back. Let me know if I need to do a new share. Everybody good? Everybody still see my screen okay? Good. All right. So now not just for nursing, but for all the different ones that we have. Academic Search Complete is one of the best ones that we have. It's probably one of the most popular ones that we have. We also have, if we're looking for sticking with nursing there, here's Sanal. This is where it's another one that's going to help as far as any of the science that they have. Is it trying to come up? Oh, there it goes. One thing we always strongly suggest is using an advanced search, this Boolean phase right here. All this is algebra, where it's going to take what the students are going to place into the search boxes with this. So if I'm going to start putting in evidence-based practice in nursing right here, I'm going to get the general search that we have. And of course, now when we're dealing with any kind of a science, as far as making sure that we have the most updated information, what we want to do is we want to make sure we have full text. We click on these facets on the left, and we also want to make sure that we have a most updated. 5 years is always the best that we can have as far as that. So if we click on that, it's now updating. This is how we can start showing we went from over 3,000, now we're down to 1,100. One thing that we can do is with this, we can help the student if we're looking for how to do clinical practice guidelines for school readiness and variance and strength of implementing base practices with this. One thing we have to do when we're teaching information literacy, we have to make sure that we keep the keyword search and make sure that we can help them expand that keyword search. So if we're looking here, we can look at the minor subjects. We can look at the nursing, evidence-based, organizational, cultural, work environment. If we click on these, they will actually take us to those and show us how they pertain to the evidence base. Hope that makes sense to everybody. Those? Good, good. All righty. So now the humanities, we always have as far as that. For the humanities, if we want to, we go back to our databases. And we can always look at humanities. We can always look if we're doing a lot with ENC 1101. I deal a lot with as far as that, the library, the Literary Reference Center Plus with this. And it's coming up here. And I'm just going to go ahead and put in ANP from John Updike. Have a lot of people that do this paper, and we're going to click. All righty. Here we can have, as far as the books, is we're looking for the full text. Remember, we want to make sure that we do have a full text here. And we can make sure we can look at this. As we see, we don't have much that we can deal with right here. Yep, the critical reception of this. If we're looking for a criticism, which we have a lot of ENC 1101, and as far as that in the papers, they want to look as far as criticism, symbolism, different things. So remember, when we're sharing with the students, we want to make sure that they use the advanced search where we can do different boxes of the Boolean phase to narrow down the search. Because with this time constraints that we have as far as that, we can actually go ahead and narrow the search down, make it easier for our students. One other thing that we can also do here that we have with our database, and we go back to our libraries. One of the great things about it as far as is our catalog also as well. One thing that we have too, we can also do is interlibrary loan. But what we do here for the state is called U-Borrow. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show the process on how to do this. Book called Tragedy and Hope. And you can see where you have all the different facets on the side, what we're looking for, the different things. But I want to make sure the specific one I'm looking for is, if I quickly. Oops. All right, so as you can see, it didn't do it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the title and show the different people how the best way I can go ahead and do it by author as well. Here we go. So now I'm going to take a look. I'm looking down at for my books here on the Carroll Quigley, and I'm looking, and this is one thing where we can help the student. They want to make sure, well, I know the last name is Quigley. I don't know what the first name is, but if they can help us with as far as that, my Carroll Quigley. Okay. For some reason, it's not coming up now. Let's try it one more time. What in the world is going on? Okay, let me try this one more time. My apologies, y'all. Had it working earlier. There we go. All right. So if I'm looking for the different books and I want to look at where I can find them as far as that, I can take a look at the Tragedy and Hope, Our World, Our Time. Okay. For some reason it doesn't want to come up with it now. Sorry, my computer's moving very slow for some reason. My apologies. Okay. All right.
Andy, question?
Yes, ma'am.
Does this show 13 items that you can request statewide? Is that what we're looking for?
Yeah, and see right here where the U borrow is right here. It's finally trying to get it to pop up as far as that, but was it showing on my screen? Because I couldn't see it on it. So if we take a look right here, the 440 items that you can request statewide, you look at the U bar section right here. And if we take a look now we have it. And we're looking at the Old Man in the Sea. And just for fun, we're going to go ahead and take a look at all, as far as the Cliff Notes, it's Polk State right here. So we're going to go ahead and click on the title, and we want to U borrow it. So when we go ahead and do that, all I'm going to do is now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in as far as my contact, my XID. And my password just got changed, and so X, and it is now X0GOLG. Okay, and once I put in my XID, it says right here as far as cancel and place request. So all I'd have to do is place the request, and it will be shipped. And make sure you choose as far as a pickup location right here. Any questions so far as that? All right, so now let's go back to our library. All right. As you can see, what we have here is we have as far as our citation that we can have here. What this was all set up for us, and this is actually now starting to update. Everybody worked very hard on it as far as this, getting the different styles that we have. Once again, the librarians are here to help. The library page is here to help. We have tutors. We also, as far as the handouts, we've actually established templates too, to where the students can actually follow the template as one is available that they can actually now access. If you just follow it, the margins are all set, the papers are ready for you. Now, what does this do? This actually helps the student out. It takes the frustration of setting up margins, actually following this. When you do have a librarian with you, as far as embedded into your class, or one that's available, or even a tutor to this, all of these resources, I cannot say more than as much as I can, that we are here available. And the hours that we have are actually even a little bit better than what they are face to face. So any of these, as far as the resources that are there, they're here for us. And being virtually now, but still being in person, they are there. We are here to help out the students and the faculty to do this. Do I have any questions so far? I haven't been monitoring the chat. Okay. All right. So now the service, when you come to this and later on, when we do have, as far as when things get back to somewhat to where we can, we will have as far as study rooms that will be available. There's booking calendars that we have as far as available here. We will also have as far as subject guides, as you can see on this part right here, when you're working with a librarian to set up as far as a lib guide, which later on colleagues will tell, as far as this can actually help mold some of your assignments and place it into a folder that's easily accessible for the student, and not only and also the librarian. So we are all on the same page. We're here. And I remember earlier the speakers talking about they were surprised that the student and the librarians, faculty, all talk together. I actually had students say, "What, you actually talk to Dr. Karp?" Yeah, we actually do. So, and they're always curious who's coming to the library, who's there, and how we're helping them out, and how we can change that lib guide to go ahead and go with the flow of what's working and what's not working in their classroom. And that's what we have found to be very effective with that. And you now have another familiar face. When you go ahead and go into the virtual librarian and someone is there and available to you, you can actually just have that resource and expertise as far as doing tutoring, formatting, citations, and research. Do I have any questions so far? Okay, all righty. So as I said, as we take a look as far as here, our lib answers and lib chance, of course, answers are here. Once again, making sure that this is available to everybody and a constant reminder that we are here and we are here to help. Only helps strengthen the bond between the faculty and the library with that. Teaching information literacy, showing them how to properly do research, helping them understand the assignments, the faculty helping the librarians to understand what is as far as the rubric pertains to having access to Canvas shells. That's also another one is there, because we have many students at many times, I'm sure all of us have heard, "I don't understand the assignment. I don't know where to go." Well, 99.9% of the time, it is in their Canvas shell exactly what they're looking for. Having a librarian, a tutor, someone that's available that has had experience in the class or also has access to that class will help only the student perform better and get better grades and understand what the expectations are of that class. Any other question? Anything at all? All righty. As far as your services here, you can take a look as far as research help, distance learning resources, career development, frequently asked questions, how to use the WEPA print systems. All of this is available. As we said, we're still face-to-face in the library. So for the people that don't have access to a printer, but they can still come to the library and they can actually come, and if they're better off as far as printing assignments, that is still available to them. And we will be helping them with no problem. Anything? All right. Now, if we click on the Learning Center here, welcome to the Learning Center. As you can see, exactly what we have here. We talk about as far as what is offered: calculator help, lending library, what is a class textbook lending library, the locations, the honor. As you can see right now, it's offline, but when that is active, of course, the Ask Us button, there are multiple ways of accessing some help, and that's what we're trying to pertain, or trying to go ahead and get across to the students to make sure they know that we're out here and you actually have more resources available to you now, I think, than even before, as far as getting help with your assignments. Any questions? A lot of this will be later on will be shown in different as far as aspects, as far as go ahead and refining it and bringing it more even down to future presentations that are coming up today. Any questions? Did I go too fast?
Not a question, just
Please.
just to let them know that Rosetta Stone's also available for Spanish students
Exactly.
and for those people who are having problems learning English.
Yeah, we do have quite a few of the ESL students, and we're also a joint use library at South Lake and Leesburg with those. And so we actually have quite a few that come in, and we actually now have more fluent Spanish speakers coming into the libraries and on campus that can help as far as that. This may be as far as helping out our community patrons who may be future students or former students that we can help out. So being a part of that community to help out not only the students and the school staff, but also helping out with information literacy to our community is a great help. Thank you, Judy.
Not a problem.
Not a question, just a statement.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to say that if anybody wanted Andy to come by your class, he really, really connects with the students.
Oh.
My students absolutely adore him.
Thanks, Linda.
Andy is great.
Thank you, Chris. It's one thing, you know, and it's if you have another face in there, they have another communication, somebody to go ahead and ask the questions and doing that. And the one thing with virtually, not only, but if we want to come in session or we're actually face to face, but we do drop in sessions quite a few times, and being able to be there with them. Next thing, you have another familiar face on virtually or on campus, someone that they can reach out to help. And that's what we're here for the information literacy. We're here to make their experience better and to show them how to do proper research and to make sure that they're successful. Any questions?
Do you want to explain about how you've been working with faculty on the embedded librarianship program?
Absolutely. Thank you. That was going to be the next one. Thanks, Katie. What I'm doing right now as far as being an embedded librarian, as I said, I've worked a lot with Kristen Chansey, Greg Craig, their English instructors, Kevin Arms also as a librarian, but an English instructor, Linda Karp with political science. Also working with Connet as far as music, and also I'm working for with as far as some of our nursing staff. I'm doing as far as the evidence base with that, and becoming the embedded librarian, and also working with the Villages Charter School, working a lot with dual education as far as that. So I still go see the classes and still meet face to face with them, but also I am available with that. What I want to do is teach information literacy and get to people as soon as possible. Later on, want to go ahead and even expand it even more possibly into the high schools to where they're freshmen and sophomores, as far as if the more we get them that embedded into their brain, the more reteaching that the instructors and libraries possibly have to do later on. And when they actually start to come to Lake-Sumter as far as that, if we can better prepare them for that, I think it will do nothing but help them concentrate more on the actual core of the class. Any other questions? Anything else, Katie, that missed or need to talk about? Okay.
There's something in the chat for you, Andy.
Thank you. Yeah, I can talk about it right now as far as that. Later on, as far as we're doing another presentation with Dr. Matt Drum, microbiology, and actually where we have taken what we'll be showing and actually putting it into a classroom assignment. And what we're doing is showing how to take that, and we're actually going to have some statistics and data and feedback on how some of these new ideas, as far as looking for reliable sources, getting through the misinformation, how to do proper research, will actually help as far as this, and actually pertains to the rubric of the QEP. So we'll be able to show that more. Challenges were, you always have when you're introducing a new assignment, no matter what it is, and you're always tweaking it. Even established professors, Kristen, I know, she likes to go ahead and change as far as her syllabi and go ahead and changing things because she needs to adapt it to what she sees needs to be an improvement, and to start following, as far as, like to say she doesn't, but she follows more and more as far as what we're trying to teach and what is trying to happen. Is that a correct definition there, Kristen? You're muted.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
Sorry, I haven't zoomed
No,
for a couple of weeks.
I know it's everybody's getting back to that part. So, but it's been working with Kristen and Linda, Kevin, and everybody. It's been, and Greg, it's been fun getting to talk to the students, as we said, getting that familiar face with them. And throughout the year, we also take, as far as we make announcements through Canvas Shell, remember, we're here to help you. The professors constantly remind the students, even the Villages, Raymond Davis, who's adjunct at Lake-Sumter, but she teaches at the Villages Charter School. One of her first things we said is, have you talked to Mr. Andy? So, in doing that, so constant reminders of letting the students know that these resources are out there and available to them. I think it's only going to help. It can. I mean, we're here for them. We've seen improvements with this. We talk to them, and we're there available for them. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Katie. As she says, sessions on designing research process, aligning with the QEP, as well as how the QEP is structured with the librarian intervention model, will be later today. And which ones will be doing that? As far as that, Lori? I'm sorry?
It'll be faster for me to talk. You can go to, if you're looking at it, the crafting a research assignment, 1 p.m. is really good. The misinformation workshop that Andy's doing later today, also with Matt Drum, will be really, really good for this. The 3 o'clock session on implementing the library intervention model really will go deeply into the QEP. Our co-directors will be speaking there. And as far as the information literacy is more than just research, they will be talking a little bit about how the instruction model for faculty will be taking place.
Exactly. Thank you. Exactly. Well said. Any other questions? I know I allotted time for 45 minutes, but kind of went through it. If anybody needs anything else as far as going back through, or any other questions for upcoming sessions.
And this session will be recorded, and we will be sending everyone a website with all the session recordings and PowerPoints if the presenter had a PowerPoint. So please keep a lookout for that.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Andy.
Thank you. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I enjoyed talking with y'all, visiting with y'all. Really do, and hope to see y'all even more.